homemade fruit Pop Tarts. First, you're going to make the dough for the Pop Tarts with these ingredients. In the bowl of a food processor, you're going to place all of the dry ingredients and blend them. If you do not have a food processor, just whisk the dry ingredients together with a whisk and then cut in the butter. You can use a pastry blender or knives if you don't have the food processor. Then you add the cream all at once and mix until you get a cohesive mass. It won't become a ball, but just a big cohesive mass. Then you're going to pour the dough out and divide it into 2 equal portions. I used a kitchen scale to make sure that it was as close to equal as I could get it. If you don't have a kitchen scale, just do what you have to do to get 2 equal portions. Once they are divided into 2 equal pieces, you're going to kind of make a rough ball, and then you're going to form each ball into a little cube and then flatten that out into a square as much as possible. Wrap the plastic wrap so that you can keep the square shape and then press the dough out to kind of fill in those corners. Once you have these wrapped, put them in the refrigerator for 1 hour to 2 days. When you're ready to make your Pop Tarts, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and line a pan with parchment paper. Let your dough sit for a little bit on the counter to warm up if it's been in the refrigerator a long time. You're going to roll out the dough, and I like to tap it first to kind of soften it up a little bit. And then you roll in both directions, trying to get a rectangle shape. Then you're going to trim the edges off so that you can get nice rectangles when you're done. You can bake off those scraps later, or you can throw them away. I actually measure and then divide into thirds if I can to make it as equal as possible. Place those onto the prepared pan. Then get the next piece of dough. Do the same thing. Roll it out just very slightly larger than the last one if you can. It'll be a little bit thinner. And then you're going to do the same thing with the trimming, measuring, and cutting. Then for the top dough, after you cut the pieces, you're going to poke little vent holes in the top of each piece. These are your ingredients for your filling and your frosting. Spread out the jam to about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch within the frame. Moisten with water and then gently place the top layer on. Crimp all of the edges with a fork. Then bake at 375 degrees for about 15 to 16 minutes or until golden brown. Let those cool completely. And then start with about 3 tablespoons of water in the frosting. Add more powdered sugar if you need to. Then you're going to spread that onto each Pop Tart that you want it to have frosting, and then sprinkle with sprinkles if you'd like. Allow them to set completely, and then you can enjoy your homemade fruit Pop Tart. Enjoy.